Gather round, everyone, and hear again the tale of Drakfu. Welcome back, everybody, and happy Monday. We are back in the savage land of Draenor. So the first week that we've been in Draenor, we've done very little in Frostfire Ridge. I'm just going to point that out. I mean, we just barely claimed Bladespire Citadel, but most of our time has been spent doing the suicide mission and also getting the garrison set up. Today, we're starting once again in the garrison because we have a couple of buildings ready to level up. So, first of all, let's go ahead and grab our Mechano Hog. You guys can see right here, we actually have a new garrison plot. And this, I believe, was for the... Yes, for the War Mill. So now that we have this, yeah, scraps of iron. So this is going to be important. So now we actually have an extra upgrade roll because of this. But the other big thing for this particular building is the quartermaster. So he's going to give us a quest called Scraps of Iron. If you turn in iron horde scraps, which you got from any orc enemy, roughly. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's a single orc enemy that doesn't give you them. You would get scraps of iron, and I believe you have to turn in. What was it? Oh, I didn't want that. You just have to turn in 5 this first time around, and in fact, we'll abandon this so that we can read it, because we'll be able to get that done. But eventually, he'll give you a daily where you turn in like 5 or 10 of them, and you in turn could then get an upgraded weapon set, armor set for your followers. So let's go and actually grab this from Grunlech.
What can I help you with? Or what am I needed for?
So scraps of iron.
At the armory, we can take scraps of iron horde armor that you collect and turn them into new gear. It's not the strongest stuff in the world, but it looks good. Get some iron horde scraps and come back my way. I'll set you up with a nice tabard for your troubles.
Which is the tabard he is actually wearing. So, like I said, this was kind of the legacy expansion as well as the movie expansion. Because this was, so in particular, you know, you can get this horde tabard, but if you talk to him, you actually can get, and I'll show this off, the same gear that a Orgrimmar guard uses. So this is actually how a guard of Orgrimmar would look, obviously as an orc, not as a blood elf, but you could have this as a default set, and then for the Alliance, you would get a Storm and Soldier set of gear in honor of the 10th anniversary of WoW, because that's what this whole thing was about. I know I'm hitting the same hammer on the... I know I'm hitting the same nail on the head, but it really is that simple, guys. This guy was the fishing shack, so let's go ahead and upgrade our herb garden, because we can now do that. So, boom. Time for an upgrade. Herb garden, level 2. So now that we have that, we can now gather up even more herb plots. It doesn't look like more, but there's actually an extra 2 in here. And right now they still are planting random plants. Again, when you get to level 3, which is no easy feat, mind you, you can then pick what things were planted. So a lot of people, including me, would take like one alt and only plant Talador Orchid. And one alt would only do Frostweed, so that you could just hoard the stuff. Oh, and look, bong, we're 98 because I picked a dang plant. Yeah, that's where we're at, guys. But hey, we're getting a lot of herbalism upgrades, so this works too. The other thing I haven't really shown off is work orders, and you could actually do these in Draenor. We're not going to worry too much about them, but you would start at 7, you'd get 14 at level 2 building, and then 21. And this just gives you even more plants. So we already have a couple of Dranic seeds. Let's go ahead and create a couple of work orders. They take a couple of hours to do. So at least that gives them some time. And that's what I was talking about before. If you complete this quest, and eventually the War Mill would let you do work orders for Iron Horde scraps, which would then give you armor upgrades for your followers. So let's go ahead and do this one for the mine. And yay! Frostwall Mine, level 2! These were a lot cooler back in Warlords, now that you've seen them a couple of dozen times. They're not bad. I'm not saying that, but they're definitely showing their age. Oh, and now also with a level 2 mine, you can get these mining carts. which will give you bonus items, including this item that you would want to keep track of called Miner's Coffee. So this actually increases your run speed while you're in the mine. Now, originally, you could only use one, but eventually they made a buff that you could made it a buff you could stack, so you could actually go faster in the mine and just plow through it. Because, I mean, there were guys, including me, that had, at least a couple of stacks of 20 Miner's Coffee on every character. It got pretty ridiculous, and actually, yeah, I said this on one of the previous videos, but I think this is the same layout as the the Lunar Fall mine that you would get in Shadow Moon Valley. So, yep. There we go. So already you see a bunch of little goblin miners. And then you loop around this area, and we can already see another cart, which gave us Primal Spirit was another thing. If you played Legion and you've seen Blood of Sargeras, that's what Primal Stones basically did. You could turn in a certain amount of them, and they were a currency, and you could get additional crafting resources, and maybe even some rarer stuff that was harder to come by. So, like, if you weren't a skinner, you could get leather that way, and be okay, and that way you would still have enough materials to make all your precious leather armor if you needed it, or your mail armor. And I apologize for all the clearing of the throat. I actually just barely got back from the dentist and had to have a quick lunch right after so that I could make sure to keep myself on track today. It's been a busy week so far, and as you guys know, I pre-record this stuff, and it's only going to get busier because we're getting ready for for Andrea to start her work week, and so I only have so much time to work with to be able to get these things done. But there we go. That's all of the stuff in the mine. So when you open up the third level, what basically happens is, I don't know if we're going to actually do it, but this area actually opens up and would create like an underground lake for additional places to get a cart or mineral nodes. Okay. So let's go ahead. Oh, crap. I wish they would have gotten this elevator working. It was one of those things that actually annoyed me about the mine. I'm like, you teased me with this freaking mine elevator, and it never worked. Oh, I got turned around. What the heck? Okay. So now we're out of the mine, and we've done all of our building upgrades. Now, sadly, we haven't gotten a mission yet that we can do. We're stuck with one, and unfortunately, we don't have the necessary counter for it. So I don't want to necessarily kill my chances on it or anything like that. But we also do have an additional quest now from Rokon.
Greetings, man.
We be needing supplies. Commander, our forces are not prepared for frost fighting. I took the liberty and sent some of our shadow hunters north to establish a supply base. You might want to be heading up there and see what they be up to. Look for a hollow between the crackling plains and the savage crag. And he gets a point for saying savage! Okay. Oh, and here is Khadgar's servant, by the way. This, way back in the day, you would hit 97, 98, and he would actually be the person you talk to start up your quest for the legendary ring. You can't get it anymore, but yeah, I like the fact that they still have Khadgar's servant kind of wandering around the garrison. Okay. So, with all that being said and done, let's go ahead and check in here. And I also just got another butt ton of, I keep on wanting to say order hall resources, and that's not right. Now here's all the small buildings that you can get. I'm not necessarily going to worry about them right away. Instead, I'm actually going to go ahead and get a lumber mill. This is going to help out with garrison resource production, which we're going to want, at least for the first little bit. And then the rest are small plots. And so, this is what I was talking about. Profession-based buildings, specifically crafting professions. So you have the alchemy lab, you had the enchanter study, you had engineering works, the gem boutique, the scribe's quarters, the tailoring emporium, the forge, and the tannery, all of which were done that way. The other one, unfortunately, you can't get until you go through Spires of Iraq, which is the salvage yard, which is you would basically it would give your missions a chance to bring back boxes of salvage, and that would be another great way to be able to get green pieces so you could disenchant them and get even more enchanting resources. You could also get a storehouse to be able to enable your personal, and I think when you upgraded it, transmogrification. You get transmog access as well as personal bank access. So that's awesome. But right now, I'm not going to worry too much about these because, well, we don't have an immediate need for them. So I'm going to go ahead and do a storehouse for the moment, and then maybe we'll keep this just for the salvage yard. Because, again, we're going to plow through Draenor. We're not going to worry about professions, really. Now, does this open up any other additional missions? No. Unfortunately, I'm still stuck with this one. So it's not working. And people might remember, we actually did get some quests at Bladespire Citadel. So now we have these to do as well. We do need to go back to Wargol. And we need to gut smash the destroyer. We have Frostwolf slaves. And here's where Rokon wants us to go. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Let's go ahead and start up with the Bladespire Citadel stuff. So real quick magic out while we fly back to Bladespire Citadel. Okay, so we just barely arrived at Bladespire Citadel. We do have a couple of quests to take on around this area, and first of all, we need to take care of we need to free some Frostwolf slaves that still have not been freed yet. So let's go ahead and start with that, and just kind of go up this way again. Unless, was it on the lower levels? Let's see. From the Sootstain mining camp. So yeah, this would be on the lower levels. So really what we're trying to do is get down there, if you can see it. Right there. Okay, so all we got to do is just get down from the Citadel. So this is going to be a long ride. So once again, happy Monday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good had a good weekend. For me, I've just been busy, and that's probably going to be the way things go, at least for a little while, until we get to the holidays, and I'm hoping to be able to take a big break around that time. So there is the mining camp. Let's go ahead and just drop down into Bladespire Ravine. And there are Clefthoof out here. That's actually awesome. I've only gone so far into Frostfire because as an Alliance player, you don't really want to go that far. Okay, so the Sootstain mining camp. So we need to free Frostwolf slaves, but I'm wondering if we're going to need a key of some kind. There's a Frostwolf slave. Can we just use it? Yep, we can just use it. So there you go, that's one. And here's a second. And also here's a good look at the new Ogre models that happened specifically for Draenor. Something that was long overdue. We finally got updated Ogre models that look more like they're fierce instead of more... And in fact, the Ogres were kind of nasty in Draenor. So much so, they got the first ever raid in Warlords. I mean, technically in that raid, your first boss was an orc, but the rest were ogre-based. Oh, hi. So I was talking about this on a previous video, that random Goron will attack you when you're mining, and all you have to do is kill them, and you get additional ore from them. So, boom. And we just need one more. Now, I'm over-leveled for this area, so I have a feeling that the ogres... Oh, never mind. They will still aggro, but not as much. So, boom. And then here's our 5th slave. Oh, and now we need to find Malvarik. So, up here it looks like. And you guys can already tell this is kind of going into a slave camp area. Oh, this might be where Malvarik is. There we are. Okay, so here's Malvarik.
Who are you, outsider? I saw some of I saw you freeing some of my kin.
Yes, I did. So, Malvarik's plight.
You were sent here to free me? It seems that makes us allies. Slave Master Turgal within the soot-stained mines will certainly have the key to this cage. While you're in there, do you think you could see which of those spineless taskmasters took my axes?
For the Horde.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Why not? Okay, so into the soot-stained mines we go. Now, I believe this is just going to be, we kill off these taskmasters, and randomly we will get one of Malvarik's. Oh, never mind. We got it right off the bat. Both of Malvarik's axes. So, yay! And I said axe, not the other word. Before YouTube decides to tell me I'm not advertiser friendly. Get your facts straight. And so this is actually starting to look like the first dungeon that you would get access to in Draenor, the Blood Maw slag mines. So, yep. Oh, that's nice. I didn't even notice the lava right there. Nice. This just shows after 10 years like how awesome these assets can look when they're redone. Just breathes new life into them. So up here, I guess, and yeah, it says I'm there. Slave Master Turgal. That's who I needed. All right, buddy. Storm Earth Deadfire!
Oh, you've made your final mistake, foreigner. Feel the power of lava as your bones melt. Aid me, essence of lava!
I don't care about your stinking essence of lava. There we go. So now we have Turgal's key. And we can just loop back around. And we don't have to worry about this crap. Oh, and there's frostweed in here. That's helpful. Well, let's go ahead and grab that. Oh, and we even got a little nibbler. A disturbed podling. Okay, so here is the miner that was also attacking us. There we are. So now we can get out of the mine and free Malvarik. That'll be helpful. Now, I did actually get some feedback from you guys, and one of which was, how on earth did you not play a Horde character during Warlords of Draenor? Like I said, I became pro-Alliance around that time, and all of my classes, all the classes that I played became Alliance classes. I had maybe one. One on another server that was basically where I got like about halfway through Mists of Pandaria, and then I got so frustrated with the Horde and the storyline they were going through, I couldn't stand it anymore.
I don't know if I would have survived without your help. Turgal was a cruel master. He tortured his slaves and let us starve to death. Your deeds have shown you to be a fine commander. The sort of commander I would be honored to fight alongside.
Oh, looky.
These ogres will be seeing the other side of my axes soon.
Okay, so let's turn this in.
You have my sincere gratitude, Drakfu.
And now we can also get a new cloak, which upgraded into a rare. The Slave Master's Demise.
Share word with the others of the Frostwolves you saved this day. They will be glad to know that some made it out of the mines alive.
Okay, so speak to Goose at Bladespire Citadel and Malvarik's offer of service.
Well, hero, I offer you both my life and my honor. I ask that you allow me to repay this debt by serving under your command. You will find that I am a fearsome hunter. I have also mastered the art of riding the Rylax, which few among the Frostwolves can claim. Will you accept my service?
Of course we will. All right, so now we can get Malvarik as a follower. So he is a survival hunter, and I'm hoping that with a few more followers, we will be able to get that other mission and start unlocking some more. So that'll be awesome. But first, let's go ahead and talk to Goose at Bladespire Citadel. So quick magic cut while we make our way back up to her. Okay, we are back up here with Goose, so let's go ahead and turn it in.
It's a good day to fight.
You found Malvarik. It shouldn't be long before those ogres clear out after you defeated their master.
And we get additional resources because of it. That's helpful. Okay, now we do have an additional quest to get done out here. But since I'm in Bladespire, I can't actually find it on the map, so give me a second. We're gonna go down this way and see if that helps. We have to get out of Bladespire Citadel, and then that'll give us the full Frostfire Ridge map. Whee! There we go. Okay, so over here is Gut Smash the Destroyer. We need to take care of him as well. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll probably head back to the garrison. I want to see if Malvarik will give us the counter we need to start that mission. Oh, and here we go. Now we have some Kodos. Yay. So yeah, like I was saying, that's really the reason I became very pro-Alliance around that time, and especially with the whole Garrosh storyline, I just wasn't interested in what they were doing. I also was frustrated with Thrall because, it sounds silly, but like, when you had Cataclysm and he basically got the kill for Deathwing instead of you because he was the chosen one and could wield the Dragon Soul, and then he stole the kill again in Mists of Pandaria when I wanted Garrosh dead. I did not want a trial. I wanted Garrosh freaking dead, and I just fell. I wanted Garrosh dead with a freaking passion. And unfortunately, they do the cutscene where instead a trial is decided. I'm like, he's gonna escape, and I don't like this idea. And in turn, I was frustrated with Thrall, and actually, in my opinion, like, Thrall has not recovered as a character. I'm kind of glad they removed him in Legion. And also the fact that Thrall is not really a focus anymore because of Chris Metzen's retirement. I kind of like that idea. I don't like the fact that I had to pay that price with Varian Wrynn. But yeah, I can kind of understand Chris's point of view. Like, he was, I've since heard interviews of after his retirement, he was stressed out. And now I totally understand, especially given recent circumstances. So now we have Gut Smash taken care of. I'm going to go ahead and do another quick magic cut while we fly back to the garrison, and I'm going to check out, well, first of all, we're going to turn this in, and then I'm going to do a magic cut to see if Malvarik solves my little problem, my little counter issue with the missions. Because I've been sitting with that mission for quite a while, and I'm starting to wonder why I haven't gotten more, and I have a feeling it's probably because they're walled off. I know a lot of missions got cut off post Warlords of Draenor, but I think we still will get, like, experience missions and things like that. So, okay, we are up here. Where on earth are we turning this in, then? Oh, and here's a Frostwolf Shaman Stone, by the way. You can turn that in and maybe get another buff. Whee! So here's Dershway.
What is it?
So let's go ahead and turn it in. Gut Smash is dead. I'll drink to that. You're all right, Drakfu. Yes, I know. I know. You can kiss my ring now. So go ahead and do that. And we still have a 442 ring. We'll go ahead and replace that first. And yeah, like I said, we're going to go ahead and do a quick magic cut while we fly back to the garrison. All right, home sweet home. So let's go ahead and check on Malvarik and see if he has the counter we need. If not, I'm going to cry. No, we still don't have it, but let's check him out. So here's Malvarik. He can counter powerful spells, but that's it, being a survival hunter. But we still, right now we have a fire mage, we have a protection warrior, we have a subtlety rogue, and we have a survival hunter. And there's tons more that you can get, but we don't have them just yet. Oh, we need a solid counter for that particular mission, though, and unfortunately we didn't get it this time. So we'll go ahead and resume the questing in Frostfire Ridge, and first of all, by unfortunately doing another magic cut, we're going to head back to Wargall, because that was another mission we got from Bladespire. Alright, we have returned to Wargall, so we need to report to Drak, I believe. Oh, but wait! The Iron Horde is here, and Durotan is not having any of that crap. So let's go and talk to Durotan. Free our brothers and sisters.
These Thunderlord curs can use cowards' weapons like nets and chains. Many of our villagers and wolf brothers and sisters have been trapped. If you free them, they will fight at your side with honor. We must quell this attack with haste, so I may return to Bladespire Citadel and continue my preparations.
Okay, so we need to free up some Frostwolves, as well as... Oh, never mind. We already met back up with... I guess it was Drek'Thar we needed to meet with. So first of all, we need to kill we just barely killed... what was it? Giant Slayer Zakta? And it looks like we have a general with each of them. At least it looks like that. It might not be that way. Oh, and also we need to kill 15 Thunderlord. So this is the Thunderlord clan that's doing this. Which are giant hunters. You actually might see the bones of their victims off in the distance. Now, technically, these do count as Iron Horde orcs, but I don't think that you get scraps from them. You gotta wait until you get more armored ones. Oh, hi, buddy. Enjoy my spin kick while I'm here. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab this Wargall villager. So we still have a couple of names that we need to kill. Gronstalker Korhal, Beastmaster Trokar, and 5 more Thunderlords. So, oh, this one looks interesting. Okay, and another Thunderlord Invader. Okay, so we have all 15. Now we just need to kill the big guys. And we've already killed the Giant Slayer, so we don't need to worry about him. So, take care of some guys while we're going along. But right now I'm looking for those specific targets. No, that's just a ranger. For a second there I thought that might be another named guy. It is not. Oh, hi! Well, we'll go ahead and help you out. Okay, 4 out of 6. Oh, there's another one. And this is the Gronstalker. Face off your... Oh, he jumped away. And for that, you get that. Okay, so Gronstalker Korhal, we don't need to worry about him anymore. There we are. We only need one more.
Proud this day.
We only need one more slave freed. And wolves count because they are part of the pack and thus part of the family. One of the things I do like, I at least know the methodology behind the Frostwolf, and I do like it. The fact that, like a pack of wolves, we are a family and we must work together to survive. And there's Draka. But we're not done yet, because I want to find Beastmaster Trokar. Where is Beastmaster? He's around here somewhere, I just don't know where. You know what? We're not even tracking it, so here we go. This'll help. Ah, looks like he's out the other side of the village. So we'll go through here, and I can already see his banner. So here is our Beastmaster. Face off, Fury! Screw you. Okay, now that we can do that, let's go ahead and turn these in with Draka, and I'm guessing Duratan, but I might be wrong. No, I think it's just with Draka. There we go.
We must protect.
Never mind. I'll be right back, Draka. There we go.
I am here for you.
Okay, so, well met, monk. Welcome to Wolfhome. So, free our brothers and sisters. The Frostwolf clan cannot be held like beasts. You fight with honor, Drakfu. Okay? Duratan's trust in you is well placed, Drakfu. You have mine as well. Yay! The Farseer! The Thunder Lord War Leader, Drakfu, you have to stop him! He went to attack Drek'Thar at the pools of vision to the northwest.
Strange.
Oh, we can't have any of that nonsense!
Hurry! That
We will take care of that. We will take care of that right now! There will be no interference from the pool of visions! So, go all the way over here. I think this is where the pools are. Yes. You gotta go down this path, and now... Oh, here we go.
Did you see this coming, you blind fool?
Did you see my fist? I mean, it was pretty awesome. I'm hoping you did see my fist. And my fist is hitting your face.
Thunderlord, I have failed you.
Indeed. Okay, so Drek'Thar.
A waste of air.
Wolfhome is saved,
We have much
but
to
I sense a
discuss.
stronger enemy just over the horizon.
Run with the pack.
Okay, so now he can continue communing
I'll
with
go
the
to
elements,
fight.
and we get Pool of Visions. A terrible storm gathers on the horizon, monk. I have prepared a ritual. You must consult the pool to see what destiny holds for us all.
You bring honor. The ritual
Okay.
is ready. Let me know when you wish to begin.
So, do we just stand here, or what? Oh no, this is a Fire Ammonite school, never mind. Let's see. So, how do I start this? Oh, do I just need to talk to Drek'Thar again?
Tell me, what do you
There we go, yep. I am ready for the ritual, Farseer! Oh, Ooh. That's not good. Lots of dead. Thunderlord and Frostwolf. But it looks like mostly Frostwolf. Shaky cam. Shaky cam! Oh, and cannons. Okay, so the Iron Horde finally arrive in Frostfire Ridge, and that's what gives the Thunderlord the advantage in Frostfire. Wow! Boom! So some people actually brought this up that I neglected to mention it.
This
The
iron
ammunition
tide
that they're actually
comes
firing
first,
is iron
because
stars, and you...
Durotan is strong, and the Frostwolf would not join them.
Yes. Basically, he was just saying that the Iron Horde is coming because Durotan would not join them, and therefore they are not going to have any of that, and said, screw you, you don't get to exist. This Iron Horde will be one or not at all. Or at least any splinter factions are not allowed. The other thing that I was going to mention is, I forgot to say, yes, the cannonballs that the cannons will use, not all of the tanks, but they are iron stars, and those are another thing that the Blackfuse company created, which is just basically a hamster wheel cannonball. The best way I can explain it. If you've seen the Warlord cinematic, then you've seen an iron star at work. But yeah, these things fire off iron stars, and that's not good.
This land.
So let's go ahead and talk to Drek'Thar. Pool of Visions. This iron tide threatens to sweep all over Draenor. The pool has shown you a possible future. This vision of the Frostwolf clan's destruction must not be allowed to come to pass. You must stop it, Drakfu. I would love to! Back to Bladespire Citadel. Durotan must be told of your vision. Pol Windcarver will offer you a flight back. The fate of the Frostwolf of Draenor depends upon you, Drakfu.
For the frost. The
Okay.
elements once spoke to me. Now I hear only whispers. Is this our fate or a warning?
Well, you will continue to find out, Drek'Thar, and that's why you're awesome. So we need to fly back to Bladespire to warn Durotan of the vision that we've now seen. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a quick Magicka while we fly back to Bladespire. Alright, we are back at Bladespire Citadel, so let's meet up with Durotan and tell him the horrible news. Thankfully, he's just right inside. You can actually see Durotan from here on his throne. Hi, buddy!
Frostwolf blood runs thick.
Grim news indeed, Drakfu. For saving Wolfhome, I would name you Wolf Brother. Now we must defend Frostfire Ridge from the Thunderlord clan and the Iron Horde.
And there you go, Defensive Wargall. Gan'ar's Vengeance. My brother's head is as thick as his axe, and he is as stubborn as a Gron. When Gan'ar left, he took with him some of my finest warriors in the clan, and headed north to the Daggermaw Ravine. If they are still out there, you must find them. Gan'ar will not listen to me. Help him see his vengeance through. If you must, please. Help him see his vengeance through if you must, but please, bring him back to us.
May Gan'ar's impatience could tear the Frostwolves apart. It is just like my brother to put his own needs above the clan. Don't worry. This hero will convince Gan'ar to return. Your brother values strength, and my friend possesses that in abundance.
Die! Yes, I do. I punch things, they fall down, and they die.
Friend of the Frostwolves.
So, securing the south. We have an outpost to the southeast that was boxed in by Thunderlord forces as they marched through the canyons to Wargol. I have sent reinforcements to secure the outpost and press east to Gromgar. We will push the Thunderlords out of our lands completely and pursue them all the way back to that reeking corpse they call home. Draka's sister Lokra was among the orcs who volunteered to clean up Stonefang Outpost.
One another.
All right. So we can take care of Gan'ar, or we could head over to Stonefang Outpost. We'll probably take care of Gan'ar. Because we love him too. He's a good guy even though he was scooping up poop. Okay, so really quick, let's just go ahead and Draenor, and I really want to get Frostfire again. So where am I going? So this is the Circle of Blood. I do actually need to take care of something there. And not this one, because this one we need to meet with Cordana Felsong. This is where Gan'ar is. Let's go ahead and head over to do Mopping Up. I think that'll work. And then we'll take care of Gan'ar on the way. I can't even remember what the Circle of Blood might actually be. Maybe a gladiatorial thing for Frostfire Ridge. Again, I haven't seen the Horde side of the Horde side of this story, but I am interested right now because the Frostwolves are awesome. So another question that people have been asking me concerning Warlords of Draenor and my thoughts on it. I have made vlogs on this, but people wanted to know my thoughts on the various changes that were made throughout Warlords. And before I do that, here actually is Igramar, the Resolute.
I am here.
Igramar winces as you show her Duratan's orders. Don't look at me like that. I've survived worse.
Run.
I'm sure you have. The Warlord's Guard. I don't know what you are accustomed to, traveler, but these lands devour the weak. Perhaps Duratan wishes to rid himself of you. We shall see. You must kill the Warlord of the Circle of Blood. Do this and the ogres here will be defeated. But first, you must find him. I have located his bodyguards nearby. Slay them and bring me their heads. With them we shall lure the Warlord into the open.
We fight
Okay.
together.
We Frostwolves are wiser than we seem, outsider. And I am watching you. So the cure. Cowards! A curse on these wretched meatbags! The Bladespire have always taunted the Orc clans by taking our wounded as slaves to fight like dogs in their pits. In retaliation for our assault, they have poisoned their Orc prisoners, leaving them to suffer and die an excruciating death. Only their geomancers carry the antidote, traveler. Use it to cure the Frostwolf prisoners.
Run with the pack.
Okay. So we need to take care of Thunk, Gullik, and Splorg, and also cure some Frostwolves. So the decisions, I think, because we all could be talking about various things when it comes to the decisions of Warlords of Draenor. I'm going to tackle the ones that I think you guys are meaning. And so, oh, wait, hold on. Which one am I going to? Okay, neither one of them, I think, are in the actual gladiatorial arena, but it does say I do have a quest there. Let's go in here really quick and see what happens. Well, this is cool, but there's nothing happening here, so... Yep. Okay. So, the first thing is the decision of the capital cities. I talked about this a couple of episodes ago in the fact that they made the call. I was disappointed by this, because I did like the idea, at least for the Alliance, to be able to get access to Karabor. which was, to us, formerly known as the Black Temple, but this is 20 years earlier, so that's what it was. It was the Draenei Holy City of Karabor. I also like the idea of the orcs getting Bladespire Citadel, an area that they had to claim on their own, kind of like what we did with Karabor, and you would get that eventually as a capital city. Oh, by the way, here's a snazzy new mount I actually got. And I like that idea. I did not like what eventually happened, which is they took that away and instead gave us Ashran. I did not like that, especially when you look at Ashran, there's just nothing special about it, aside from it screams Wintergrass PvP area, and I didn't like that particular decision. So, yeah, I wasn't on board with it, but I understood Blizzard's reasoning. The way I understood it in the beta, they were much bigger areas, and they had tons of profession vendors and profession trainers, vendors, all that stuff, and that would have been awesome to be able to see. It sucks, yeah, but that's the decision that they made, and here's the thing that I will always acknowledge with a lot of this stuff is that it is at the end of the day, it's Blizzard's call on what they want to make work, and Blizzard's earned enough reputation with me that I'm willing to trust they're going out on a limb more than other companies because they've earned it. So I didn't like the idea, but I understood their reasoning when they explained it, and thus I was okay with it. The other major decisions of the massive amounts of cut content. This is one that gets brought up a lot, and you know what? I'm there with you. I think that was dumb. I really do think that Warlords of Draenor at some point on paper was probably a 3 raid tier expansion, and instead got cut down probably in favor of Legion. And that sucks. It really does, because, I mean, the initial, as you guys are going to see, the initial campaign for Warlords of Draenor showed a lot of promise. Showed a lot of potential. And I just don't think they ever lived up to it. I mean, the initial leveling experience did, but we basically got trolled in the fact that they had good ideas story-wise and decided, no, we can't make this work. And that's sad, but I understand the reasoning. I just don't necessarily agree with it. In fact, I've had this debate with a couple of YouTubers as well as fellow WoW fans of, like, you know, what I thought. Because that's all you can do at this point is you can idealize how you think the expansion should have gone. But I was thoroughly convinced that this was going to be like a 3 raid tier expansion, and I think it was built to be like that, like all expansions. And then they cut it out because they went, oh, well, we don't have a whole lot of content here, and I have a feeling that Legion was being worked on, and most of the team was invested in Legion. And this is going to sound harsh to say, but not so much into Warlords. Maybe Legion just shaped out to be a much more worthwhile and interesting expansion. And I do believe Warlords was probably supposed to build to Legion, but it just didn't do it. It didn't build towards it. In particular, some people might be confused here. What decisions am I actually talking about that they wrecked? First of all, the Fields of Farallon. It was actually, I'm guessing, supposed to be like an Isle of Thunder area where we would have additional patched content and maybe another raid or something like that. Then they changed their mind and they decided, oh, well, it'd be awesome to actually make this a leveling area for your newly boosted level 90s. And so I don't know what their overall intention was for the Fields of Farallon, but I had a feeling since it was supposed to be what eventually would become Netherstorm, that maybe they had some demon stuff planned for it. I don't know. I've been debating on whether or not to make, like, since we're in Warlords of Draenor content, make my ideal, like, what I thought they should have done with Warlords as far as content. The other thing, too, let's see. So Fields of Farallon's another one. Announcing that Grommash was the final boss at the end of Warlords. I felt they cut their nuts off with that one, pardon my French. And it's mainly because I like the fact that when the only reason I felt like they did the Grommash reveal was because they did the Garrosh reveal. When we found out very early on that the ending boss of Mists of Pandaria was going to be Garrosh Hellscream, and that we were going to raid Orgrimmar. And I didn't agree with it then. I didn't think it was a good idea to do. Like, if we built up the story, then I would have been a lot more invested, but since I knew that Garrosh was going to be the end guy and we were going to dethrone him, I was like, okay, yeah, I hate the guy, but I'm not that invested in killing him. It would have been much better to not have that particular reveal, is all I'm saying. And I really do, I honestly feel like it from a storytelling perspective, it cuts your nuts off. It really does, because then at that point, you're written into a corner. You have to do it this way. And I feel like maybe Blizzard realized that when they made the announcement and said, oh, well, we're gonna go a different route because we can't make Grommash work. Which I don't agree with. I think you could make Grommash work. In fact, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will do the vlog. Maybe I will do the vlog on how I feel Warlords of Draenor's story should have ended up. But I will caveat it with this. I'm not going to plan out the Legendary Raid. I'm not even going to worry about that. That should have been, in my honest opinion, that should have been like your hintings towards Legion. Because that's what happened with the Cloak. That was all of your hintings that either Legion was coming or that we were going to be dealing with other things. So I would have kept the ring that and had that be the hint towards the next expansion. Not what actually happened and the ring was tied into the adventures in Draenor. I'm not saying you can't do that. I think you can, but we should have been hinting more at what's to come. Not necessarily the present situation we're dealing with, because that's always what I feel a legendary should be, is you're preparing for the future, because you can never truly be prepared for it. So yeah, Grommash, I didn't agree with that. The Ogre Empire, a lot of people like to bring this one up as another major failure. We were supposed to get exploration, and they didn't even promise this, I don't think. I went back and watched BlizzCons, and I don't think it was even promised. It was just, they were trying to give you a perspective, but there was supposed to be like a mainland continent where all the ogres came from, and that was what we were dealing with. And eventually, I guess we were going to deal with like another Heimal-esque raid or a Heimal-esque area that would go more into the ogre lore, which was supposed to be more dangerous in Draenor than it was on Azeroth. And then again, I started hearing like, oh, maybe we'll do this as the leveling area, and I'm just like, no, don't just let people level. You know, they're level 90, let them go through Tanan, let them do it like everybody else does. No. And that's eventually what happened with the boosts in Legion, is that they had to go through the Broken Shore. And I actually agree with that concept, because you have to go through the Broken Shore at least once, and then at that point, if you make an alt, you can skip it, and it's fine. But I think you ought to at least go through the story once. And I like the fact that at least when I last tested them, the test characters would start on an airship just above the Broken Shore, and then you would start up the Broken Shore event. That was actually really cool. Okay, do we have everything? I've been talking left and right. Oh yeah, we do. So let's go ahead and head back to Bladespire. Let's see, other bad decisions that they made. Do I even dare go into the Legion stuff? The Legion stuff, basically this happened near the end of it, where we actually found out that the Twisting Nether apparently transcended time and space, so that explains why our Archimond could actually come and be a threat on Draenor. This ties into another problem, so I'm just going to loop them all together. Originally, when Warlords was being conceived, or being sold to us, I was not bought. Granted, I had just had an expansion that gave me basically 90% of a giant chocolate cake. I got everything I wanted out of Mists of Pandaria. I got Asian content up the wazoo, and I love the story that eventually we did get. I'm just not happy about the fact that we got the Garrosh reveal so early on. I think if we built towards it, then you would have given us reasons to hate Garrosh. There was reason, more than enough reasons to do so. But when they announced it, I kind of sat there like everybody and went, why do we want this? What this doesn't make any sense. Why do we want this as our next expansion? And this is a worthwhile and just question to ask, because it didn't make a whole lot of sense. I'll keep flying and I'll explain this.
What is it?
I think we had to go all the way to Wargal, didn't we?
Fight as one.
I might be wrong, but that's okay. Because actually no, never mind. So we'll magic cut one of these flights. But when it originally got presented and they started saying time travel expansion, that's when I went, no. And the reason I said that was because even though at BlizzCon, and I know a lot of people were excited about this concept and were stoked at the announcement,
Speak.
and they were trying to justify it to themselves just as much as I was, but Blizzard made the blanket announcement of, we don't want to deal with time travel problems or alternate dimension problems. That's what this expansion was about! And so even I was kind of looking at it and going, yeah, I think I'm going to skip this expansion. And time travel in games has never really worked out all that well unless it was totally based around it. I don't like the fact that we're doing this, and we're only doing this because we're trying to make these warlords look awesome because of the movie. So I was already not on board with that particular concept. And then we had the issues throughout of trying to connect the timelines and the alternate histories, but also not connect them. And that's what led to the tweet of saying the Twisting Nether transcends all time and space. And that's how we could face our Archimond on alternate Draenor. And their explanation didn't work with me. And I found it funny that they actually put it away, I'm not gonna say lightning fast, but at least like a week or two later. They put away that explanation, and Alex Afrasiabi wasn't bringing that up. He made up for it with Legion, but that was such a misstep. A horrible, horrible, horrible misstep. I have no problem admitting that one. Oh, geez, where are these quest givers? I want to turn these in because we're running out of time today. Let's see, where... Okay, I'm going to go ahead and follow the questing arrow. I probably should have done this from the beginning, but I was like, I know where I'm going. But in reality, I don't, because I've never done this before. Let's see, is there another Draenor mistake that I can go into right off the bat? I'm just not thinking of one off the top of my head that oh, actually, I know where we're supposed to go. We need to go to Ingramar. There's plenty of time to go over all of these things. I know a lot of people were pissed off about the whole Khadgar situation, the fact that he had ATS, and there was no explanation for it. You didn't need one because the person who wielded the staff was a comic book character that has been referenced numerous times that he will never, ever make it into the World of Warcraft lore. The second that character does, then they have a problem. And they must explain it. But I love the fact that people were already speculating that, like, oh, Khadgar must be evil because there's no possible way. He must have killed the character. As far as the World of Warcraft is concerned, this character did not exist. Oh, and that's why I can't find it, because I was looking in the wrong direction. Okay, there we go. So I know that a lot of people were pissed off about that, but I love the fact of Khadgar being brought in. In fact, casting Tony Amendola as him was the best idea that they could possibly have done, and he's been amazing since then. You actually will interact with him quite a bit in Legion as well, and it's great because they've found a really great way to merge his dialogue with being serious as well as being humorous. Being that he is a mage, you know, sometimes he misplaces stuff, or he's encountered evil souls and therefore kind of shrugs off the idea that, you know, he has this evil soul in his inventory and he doesn't want to explain it. I like the fact that they've done all this, and it's been awesome. So let's go ahead and turn this in.
Everybody pulls their
Since I've talked your ear off already. Let's see, the Warlord's Guard. You still draw breath, hmm? Have you dealt with the warlord's underlings? Yes, I have. You have done well in this, but do not become proud. This land has dangers far greater than what you have seen here. I know, I faced some of them. Alright, and this is going to give us a bracer.
We fight together.
And the cure. You have done the Frostwolf clan a service, traveler. I shall be sure to tell Durotan of your deeds. Thank you. The fall of the warlord. You've managed to survive this long, stranger. All that remains to be done here is to fell the warlord of the arena. This will be your first true test here, but would provide a challenge to even a battle-hardened Frostwolf. Place the heads you've collected on spikes in the Frostfire arena. They are sure to enrage the warlord and lure him into battle. Come out of the arena victorious, and it will show that Durotan's trust in you was not misplaced.
For the clan.
Okay, so we have to kill Warlord Bolt. But, unfortunately, that's going to go ahead and do it for us today. When we come back on Wednesday, we will continue our questing in Frostfire Ridge. We'll see you guys then.